I am pretty much done with my third year of college as of the making of this video. I think all I have is like one paper left, but like it's fine. That's something that it's not even due for like a couple days. Again, as I'm recording it, I'll probably start doing it like tomorrow or something. But pretty much in terms of exams and everything else, I'm done. All that's left is like some bits of polishing here and there for my game that I've been working on with a team this whole semester, which I'm sure you guys will get more on that like a week or two from now. So usually when I make these type of videos, like I did something like this during my spring break, which as kind of like I guess like a little pit stop to kind of talk about how junior year was treating me. And I think in that video I basically just talked a lot about how junior year just stressed me out a lot at that point. Now that spring break is over and I'm done with the entirety of the semester, that stress never went away. And if anything, that stress got immediately worse. I think this whole, not even just this semester, now that I'm done with this year, this whole year genuinely has been like, I have never been more stressed, exhausted, and demotivated as I've been this entire junior year of college. I have, it's probably just like things that happen, but I don't know. I've been trying to like process how this year has treated me, especially towards the very end of the semester. I've been starting to kind of like lie down and sit down and think to myself like how much I've done this semester. I think I keep underestimating just how much work I did this year. Not just in terms of like my own curriculum related to, developing games, even like studying Japanese. As of now that the semester's over, this will make 4 semesters in a row that I've been studying Japanese to such an extensive level. I don't think my Japanese is like, fluent, but I can hold basic conversations. However, I genuinely don't think I have plans of using Japanese on this channel, just because, like, for one, I'm not fluent, so I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, which in of itself wouldn't be a problem. But that just rolls over to point number 2, which is that like I don't really feel comfortable speaking Japanese outside of like a classroom setting. So if I'm not speaking to other Japanese students, and by that I mean other students in my school learning Japanese, or like my Japanese teachers, then you will never hear me speaking Japanese on this channel. Maybe one day in the far future, maybe like when I'm a senior, I'll do it, but as of right now, I have no plans of using Japanese for any of my videos. I continue to take guitar lessons this whole year, or not this whole year, sorry, this semester. I had a really good instructor, but just with how much work I had in all of the other departments, that led to way less time for me to play my guitar than I thought I would have. I'll probably still play it just like in my own free time over the summer, but just not to like a weekly instructor extent. It's just gonna be like every once in a while I might just whip out the guitar and just practice, maybe post something on this channel, who knows. And then we have, whatchamacallit, my semester-long project where I worked with a team of 8, including myself, on a semester-long game. And I enjoyed it a lot, genuinely. I had a great time. I was very nervous going into it, but I ended up getting a really good team of talented people. And it's just that right now we're kind of in like, I guess the final stages of development. There's actually some stuff that I'm gonna go back and edit for our game, which again, I'll probably touch on in like a future vid whenever the game is like actually like properly released on itch. So that's really it in terms of schoolwork. I guess the easiest thing I can touch on, maybe not end off the video, is like why I felt so stressed. And I think like from the outside looking in, all I did was take like 18 credits for the 3rd time in a row. This is my 3rd semester in a row that I took 18 credits opposed to like the normal 16, at least at my school. Yeah, I'm glad to say that senior year I'm not doing that shit again. It was not worth it. Well, it was a little bit worth it because now my senior year is a lot easier, but to anyone that's starting college, please don't take back-to-back 18 credit semesters. Do it like once or twice. Do them sporadically prior to senior year so you can relax, but don't do them back-to-back. It was not worth it, and I am drained, and it was not fun. The courses themselves were fun, but when you have to stack all of that work on top of the fact that a lot of the classes just ran on complete opposite schedules, so some of my classes would mostly give me homework towards like the end of the week. Some gave me homework more so towards the start of the week, And my overall game that I was working on is like little bits of work that I had to, that's to some extent focus on pretty much every single day, which in of itself, again, I enjoyed working on the game, but it's hard when you have all types of things that you have to focus on. So my mind was constantly just either scattered or I was just super ultra focused on one thing, which is usually good, but that led to a lot of like scenarios looking back where like there were people that like were trying to like interact with me maybe at like work or in class, and I was just not in the mood. It's like I didn't want to come off as mean, but there were so many days where I was just like so unfocused to like sit down and have a conversation with people that like I would literally like show up to work with the most dead face, just be like, oh hey, hi, what's up? And then just like either do homework, or if it was the little bit of time that I get to relax, I just wanted to focus on doing whatever. Probably playing like Pokerogue or like Tetrio. Something that like wouldn't stress me out or have to make me think about schoolwork. That's really what I was dealing with pretty much for the entirety of junior year, most notably this semester. And, you know, that's just life, I guess. But now that I get more time to relax, I'm sure that kind of, I guess, guilt of not being as social as some people were used to seeing me is probably gonna slowly fade away. What else? I think also just with the sheer amount of like both homework, and I didn't even touch on like job hunting, which anyone in my age group, or not even just my age group, I'm sure most people watching this video can probably relate to this. Job hunting was ass. It still is ass, but it's not fun trying to sift for internships, and you're just constantly doing like homework, you know, filling out all these forms for several internships. You look back 2 weeks later and you get rejected, or you just get ghosted after like several months, which getting ghosted is like the worst feeling ever, because it's like you don't even know that you're getting rejected from the position. You just find out that somebody else got hired for it on like LinkedIn. So you're just like, oh, okay, GG's go next, I guess. Also, this is completely random. This semester gave me the most amount of days where I was trying so hard to not just stay home all day and not go to class. And I'm not even talking about like stay home and play video games. I mean like straight up just stay home and just lay in bed all day. I was fighting my urge at least like a large handful of times, and I managed to beat them. Like I never skipped all of my classes a day, but that urge was there way more often than it normally is. So, you know, I don't know what that tells you about me or how I felt about junior year, but I feel like that speaks volumes. I guess the only thing I plan in my head is what I'm going to do moving forward. Not just over the summer, but what I plan on doing senior year. I think there's a couple of personal goals that I have in mind. I guess most notably, continuing, dang, I can't speak English, continuing to go to the gym. I was pretty consistent this year, especially this semester. I was super consistent with going to the gym 2, 3 times a week. The actual days that I was going to the gym were kind of wishy-washy. Like there were definitely some times where I would just not go to the gym during the week. So I would just crank out going to the gym on weekends, which worked okay, but you know, it was just inconsistent days. But I was still going to the gym 2, 3 times a week. The days themselves were just very sporadic, which I don't think is an issue, but you know. I also plan on getting back into drawing. It's not like I lost interest in drawing, but I really haven't spent much time drawing just because I've been so focused on just schoolwork and things like that. So my goal for the rest of, well, I say for the rest of summer, like summer started, but during the summer, I'm pretty sure, I say I'm pretty sure, I did manage to find something to do over the summer that will pay me, so that's good. As for other things, I don't really know. I want to get back into watching more anime, not just for the sake of learning Japanese, but like I think I've genuinely fell out of, not, how do I word this properly? I wouldn't say I fell out of love with watching anime, but like I just couldn't relax for like the whole semester. Aside from like Dandadan, I really haven't watched much anime in the past year. I don't really know why. I just kind of was just more interested in watching like other things like Invincible. And even after that, I just went back to like watching, I've been watching a lot of Ghibli films, which that I will make a future video on. Mark my words, that will be like one of my next videos, probably by the end of this month. You know, fingers crossed, knock on wood. Also, I think for this channel, I plan to upload more consistently. I feel like I've said this every single year for the past like 2-3 years, and I say this every couple months, and I'm consistent for 2 weeks, and then I disappear. But I genuinely feel like with the new schedule that I have for the next semester, it'll make making content a lot easier for me because I'll have like days where I have a lot of free time. So that free time will be allocated towards content creation, unless I allocate it towards like, something else. But for the most part, I have enough free time on my hands to where I can, record videos, whether it's a sit down and talk like this or something related to like playing games. So look forward to that. And I don't really know what else to say in this video, to be honest. So TLDR, I guess. Super stressed out with junior year, but I get the feeling senior year is going to be a lot easier in certain regards. I feel like junior year is definitely going to be not junior, sorry. Senior year is going to be a lot harder in certain regards, looking for like full-time work after graduating. Trying to keep contact with all of the friends I've made here. Even this year, there are a lot of my friends now that are seniors who are going to graduate out, and I'm a little bit nervous on falling out of contact with a lot of them. There's a lot of them that I really, 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 really consider good friends. I am going to miss them, so I'm going to try my best to stay in contact with them. So that's really all I have to say for this video. If y'all enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, drink water, tell a friend, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.